my audience. If you were a terminally ill patient with given the expectancy to live less than 6 months, would you think about suicide? Well, many patients have thought so. There's a debate across the U.S. about whether or not assisted suicide or euthanasia should be allowed. I have researched of other countries' laws on euthanasia and assisted suicide, and after you hear those laws, you can decide for yourself whether it should be allowed or not. Do you think people should be allowed to choose when they are able to die, or does it go against your morals? Global Euthanasia Laws article informs me about Switzerland, Netherlands laws. Switzerland legalized euthanasia in 1982, where the patient must be 18 years or older. They have to be a Swiss resident. They must be mentally competent, and the patient has to give consent, or a family member has to give consent. The Netherlands legalized euthanasia in 1984. The website called Wise Geek informed me about Albania, Luxembourg, and Belgium's laws. Albania legalized euthanasia in 1999, Belgium in 2002, and Luxembourg in 2008. Derek Humphrey wrote an article called Euthanasia Progress in the 20th and 21st Century. His article informed me on Mexico and Japan's laws. Mexico legalized euthanasia in 2008, where the physician can withdraw from life-sustaining medication as long as the patient is mentally competent and gives consent to do so. Japan, although instances are very rare, they legalized euthanasia in the Yamagata case of 1962. Where some countries are for euthanasia, other countries don't really they don't really clarify whether or not they are for or against the topic, but they have certain laws that pertain to the subject. Derek Humphrey's Euthanasia Progress article also informed me about England, Colombia, Germany, and Germany's laws. In England, they don't have any laws for or against the topic, but you can be charged with 14 years of imprisonment depending on the case or scenario. In Colombia, they legalized euthanasia, but the parliament never ratified it. Because of this, doctors discreetly help patients that are ill or in need, but there's no law that says that it's allowed or not allowed. In Germany, there has been no penalty since 1751. That's a really long time. But they also have no laws for or against it. But there's never been a case, I guess, where someone has gotten in trouble for assisting in suicide. Derek Humphrey also wrote an article called "Tread Carefully When Helping to Die." This article informed me about Scotland and Sweden's laws or opinion on the topic. In Sweden, there's no law for or against it, but you could be charged with recklessly endangering human life, culpable homicide, or wicked recklessness. In Sweden, there's no law for or against it, but courts and judges have actually charged somebody with manslaughter. Depending on the case and circumstances, the case can be lighter, but manslaughter is what Sweden charges with. The Euthanasia Progress article informed me of Denmark, Finland, and France's opinion on the topic. Denmark also does not have laws for or against it, but there are reports stating that Denmark does euthanasia. In Finland, there's no law for or against it, but it happens discreetly as well. And in France, you can be charged with failure to assist a human life, but the cases are very rare. Where some countries are for it, some countries are, they don't clarify it. Other countries are strictly against it. Derek Humphrey's Tread Carefully When Helping to Die informed me that it is a crime in Canada to use euthanasia, and you can be charged with up to 14 years of imprisonment. In Uruguay, in the penal code, it says that judges are to forego any forego punishment to anyone who commits homicide with motive of passion, which would be assisted suicide, whether or not the patient begs you multiple times to help in doing so. In Norway, you can be charged with accessory to murder, and in New Zealand, Italy, and Ireland is legally forbidden. Russia also strictly prohibits it, and in Hungary it was ruled illegal in 2003. The Global Earth Laws article informed me that Australia, actually they legalized it for several months, and then the Parliament repealed the law, and 4 people were able to use it. So I just explained all the laws around the world, and there's a debate that's going on around the U.S. and in many states whether or not euthanasia and assisted suicide should be allowed. Many people think it's against their morals. Others think that people have the humanly right to choose whether or not it is their time to die or not. So the choice is yours. That's all.